All right, Rich Rodriguez. He is returning to West Virginia. Now, I believe his contract, if I'm not mistaken, is like 5 years. I believe that it is I think first year he gets paid like $3.5 million, and then the rest of the years will be like $3.75 million. I think it is low, but I believe by the way that I read that depending on how like the results of how good West Virginia does, there's a potential he could get paid more with like say possibly have a really good season of 10-2 and you make the college football playoff, then he would probably get a bonus. I think that's what the way it's set up. If you're Rich Rod, I think that he is just appreciative to have this opportunity to go back to West Virginia. Plus, I believe he said there's he's got unfinished business there in Morgantown. So it's a great move for him. And go look at how Jacksonville State has played the last couple of years with Rich Rod as their head coach. Rich Rod has turned that program into a powerhouse in the Conference USA. And it's very impressive to see what he's done there at Jacksonville State because of this. This is only, I believe, their second year in the FBS. They were an FCS school, and they've moved to the FBS with little trouble. Like it's just been a very easy road so far in the FBS. They got to the Conference USA. They made a bowl game last year. I mean, they're going to make a bowl game this year, and they won the Conference USA this year. So it's going to be interesting to see how Rich Rod does at West Virginia. But you cannot lie. This guy, he did a great job at Jacksonville State. Congratulations to him. He really made a mark at Jacksonville State. And so it's going to be interesting to see who Jacksonville State goes to get to replace Rich Rod. But great job by him. And so he has done a great job. And that's all. I mean, can't say enough. So, Rich Rod back at West Virginia. All right, Scott Frost. He's making his return to UCF after a failed tenure at Nebraska, which, don't get me wrong, I mean, Nebraska was his alma mater. It makes sense why he left UCF to go to Nebraska. I mean, it's his alma mater. Why not go? So he goes to his alma mater at Nebraska, and they never make a bowl game. They're close. Like they play like every single game. It's very close, but they just cannot get over the hump. And so Scott Frost has made his way back to UCF after I think this past year he's taken a break, or like past couple of years he's taken a break as far as being a head coach. So UCF, I think this is a great move for him. I mean, UCF clearly loves him because I think his last game they beat Auburn in the Peach Bowl, and it was incredible. So they claim to have a national championship. I'm not going to give them a national championship if they never played for the national championship in this era, but that's besides the fact. Scott Frost, he really turned around UCF when he was there. I believe his first year, if I'm correct, they didn't win a game. Second year, they were like 6-6, and then third year they were like 13-0. Yeah. So Scott Frost, great coach, and I think that this tenure could potentially, I mean, I think it's got all the makings of it could be good. But you're playing, I mean, you're UCF, you're playing the Big 12 now. It's a little bit more difficult than playing in the American. So let's wait and see what happens. But I love this hire by UCF. I think this is a great move by them, and I think there's a lot of optimism if you're in Orlando, Florida. So, Central Florida fans, I think you got your coach back, and I think things are going to go really nicely for you.